can just move right on to the very next thing that you have on the website. You know what I'm going to say?
I know. I set you up for that.
Yeah, and it's great that you did. I never heard of Darren Brown before until you put him on the website, and then I looked at it, and I am just blown away. Is he like a magician, or what is he?
Darren Brown is my idol. I'm quite a magic-y type of person anyway.
Yes.
He's my idol. He's fantastic. He's like magician, hypnotist. He can do everything. He just knows what you're thinking before you know what you're thinking.
Wow.
He's that good. He's really good. But yeah, he's done this show called Apocalypse. I'm actually sat waiting for the second half to come on today.
Okay.
But he's done a show. He's done loads of other shows. He did a show where he convinced a man in an audience to kill a man on stage. Obviously, it was all faked, and they didn't actually shoot anyone. They had a fake gun. Death was faked and that. But he convinced him to like shoot his person. He did like a murder weekend sort of thing.
Yeah.
And he took one guy and he convinced that guy that he had killed somebody.
Yes.
Even though he hadn't. It had all been staged.
Right.
And he managed to convince him just with like subliminal messaging and all these different ways of doing it. And he convinced this bloke. And it got to the point where he went and turned himself in at the police station and stuff like that.
Oh, man.
He's so good. He's done another one called the Bank Heist, or the Heist.
Yeah.
Where he like, over so many weeks, he drummed it into these people's heads that when they heard a certain song and saw certain images, as soon as they heard this song, they fucking robbed a bank and stuff like that. It's all weird stuff, but
man,
it's fucking awesome. But yeah, he's done this one called Apocalypse, where he's picked one person at random that doesn't know anything, and over the past few years, I think he's spent 4 months watching him in his home. So they rigged his house up with cameras. His mum and dad and his family are all in on it. And his mates and that. They rigged up with him, and they've been watching him for ages. And now they finally come to doing it. What he's done is he's got into his house, and any electrical stuff that he uses, internet, his mobile phone, the TV, he's rigged up. He had a hacker come in who his daily job is to hack like people like, I don't know, like the Pentagon and the CIA, and he tries to hack their defences to see where there's flaws and stuff like that. And he hacked into this kid's mobile phone and computer and put these fake things on his websites for him about this asteroid that was going to hit Earth and like England and all that. And it just went from there. And he picked his favourite radio station and got them to talk about it. He sent a signal from a TV show directly to his house so only he could see it, about this asteroid's meteor shower hitting Earth and all that.
Wow.
And it just went from there. And then when it happened, this meteor shower hit Earth, blah blah blah, he passes out, wakes up, and he's in a hospital. And the thing is, the whole place has been overrun by this infection that's turned people into zombies, basically. And that's the show. And it's trying to make him basically appreciate life, appreciate what he's got, because he's a bit of an asshole. He don't treat his family with respect.
Lazy.
He is. He's a lazy. So he's trying to. Yeah, the whole point is to not neglect what you have, and not to take for granted what you have. So yeah, it's fantastic. It's so good.
Tell me how he hypnotized. How does he make him just fall asleep? Because I remember they were on a bus, right? And they're going towards this fake concert that they're supposed to be going towards. How does he hypnotize him and make him go to sleep?
He could just. I don't know how hypnotism works, to be honest. He just puts him to sleep, doesn't he? I don't know how he does it. He does it in a lot of his acts. And he manages to put people to sleep. Whether it's something that's happened, beforehand, or I don't know. I don't really know how all this sort of stuff works.
What?
But he puts him to sleep. They take him off the bus and they put him in his gowns, didn't he?
Yeah.
And put him into bed in a fake hospital.
Right.
And he says, when the lights come in the morning, you're going to wake up. And and the lights come in the morning. He wakes up and there's a fucking outbreak. Everyone's abandoned him and he's got no one. And all he's got is he walks out and there's a TV on with a message from the army telling him to, keep indoors, get here. And
right.
It's fantastic. It's so good.
So tonight tonight's going to be part 2 of that.
Tonight is part 2. Tonight is the second part, the last part of that episode of this series.
How does it end? For people that are,
I don't know.
For people that are watching on our website, there's the full part 1 of it. But how does part 1 end? Is he just running from people?
No, part 1 is he finishes. He comes out of his room in the hospital. He meets a young girl. The idea of the young girl is for him to take responsibility for her. That basically he has to got to step up to the mark, and he has got to make decisions. He's got to make certain decisions, tough decisions.
Right.
He's got to run the joint, and he meets up with her, and then they go into another part of the ward, but they have red bands and blue bands, didn't they? Blue bands means you're fine. Red bands means you're infected.
Yes.
And you were quarantined. Well, they go into a separate part of the hospital, and they get locked in. And they realise it's a quarantine area, and they end up getting chased out by zombies. And they come across a bloke who's in an ambulance, didn't they? Who pick him up and take him to safety.
Yes.
And he finds a letter on the wall, didn't he, saying that his mum and dad are all safe, and he's just basically been left to think about it, and, like, reflect on, what's happened and all that. And that kind of ended there. So the next episode looks fantastic.
Just fantastic, dude.
Trailer.
It's scary kind of situation.
It is. But at the same time, it's like, wow, because they've completely taken away anything. He can't come into contact with them,
right?
Because they've got into his head that any contact with him whatsoever will cause him to catch an infection. Any blood, any saliva on him, anything like that. So and if he just touches him and stuff like that, he's got the impression that he will become infected. So he can't touch him. He's just got to fucking run.
Let me throw something at you real quick, and you can tell me what you think about it. Okay?
Go for it.
Okay, so Darren Brown, that's this guy's name. He's a world famous hypnotist that can hypnotize groups of people at a time. I've seen him, like this show alone. He does like 15 people at the same time. Boom, and
yeah, he does. He can do quite a few people,
and it's all by the sound of his voice, or they watch something on TV that kind of introduces them to what hypnotism is, and then subconsciously they're able to be hypnotized. Even if you've never been hypnotized before, he finds a way into their subconscious to do it.
Yeah.
So
he only picks people. I think hypnotism only works on people that want to be hypnotized.
Okay.
That's what I've heard anyway.
Okay.
Apparently, if you go in there and you're adamant that it's not going to happen, then it won't happen. Apparently,
right.
So I think he picks the specific people that he knows will work on.
Yes. So, that what you just said, people that want to be hypnotized, is a perfect example of what I'm about to explain with Darren Brown. You know what government-funded pilot programs are, right?
No.
Okay. A government-funded pilot program is something like poverty. Poverty in the United States was introduced to certain groups of people to see what they would do in that sense, and unfortunately, it was with a large group of black people on the East Coast several years ago, and to decide what people are going to do with this kind of poverty, and what people are going to do good, and what people are going to do bad. And there's a long story, you can look it up online, America's poverty from the beginning. But Darren Brown, the way that he can hypnotize people, there's a slight possibility that he's been employed by the government. I'm not going to say the United States government or the UN or from who, but he has the ability to hypnotize several people at one time through his voice. And voice is just a pattern of different frequencies that comes out of your face, out of your body. If that is amplified, there's a possibility for people that want to be hypnotized, like him. He plays on his iPhone all day long. Inside the episode, that's all he does. He plays on the iPhone and watches TV. There's no true substance or emotion inside his life. He doesn't have to go out of his way to be in love, or he just likes to be a zombie. And so there's a slight possibility that Darren Brown or somebody with Darren Brown's ability has been employed by the government to do a mass hypnosis. And the reason why I say that is because the government, as we speak, they conduct different experiments on people. I don't know if you know, but October 31st of this year, Halloween, the United States government held a test off the coast of California on a private island. Have you heard about this? No. Okay, thousands of people were employed by the government and military to go out and become zombies. And what they did was just like on this show, Darren Brown's Apocalypse. They had a camp set up. The CDC was there. The government was there. The military was there. All these different scientists were there. And they want to see what would happen if there actually was a zombie outbreak. What would the military do? How would people react? How would people respond? And so they put people out, just like this Darren Brown show. They took people out to study the science behind this kind of outbreak. And I'm telling you, man, whenever I saw Darren Brown's Apocalypse, it just snapped something inside my brain to where this is a pilot program. They're actually showing us what they have planned for us in the future, in the near future or the latter future, whatever. But it's a really good show, man. But there's something more to it that I think. Call me a conspiracy theorist, I don't care, whatever. I think that there's more to it than just him because, dude, how do you go hypnotize a group of 12 people to 50 people and everybody's, that's a lethal weapon. If he, on one of his shows, just like you said, hypnotized somebody to stand up and go try to kill somebody on stage with a fake gun, how different is that than having somebody hypnotized and go eat somebody's face off in Florida? There's no difference at all.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, to be honest. I see where you're coming from.
It's got to be a frequency-based hypnosis project, and man, I think that somebody like Darren Brown's involved in that. That's what I think.
Probably. I think he should run England, to be honest.
Yeah. Why can't they hypnotize people to be absolutely geniuses, and the world would be perfect,
Surely you can't hypnotise someone to be a genius, though, because you're only a genius with what you know.
Oh, I guess you're right. Man, I'd be a genius of, I like music a lot. Whenever I hear music, especially certain sounds, if I close my eyes, I see a color inside my brain. Does that happen to you?
I can't say it does. You're just a musical genius.
A musical genius? I don't know about the genius part, but I am very musical.
You are.
So,
dude, seriously, you are a musical genius.
You know what? And thank you for that. But you know who
right.
who is trying to rub in on that genius is Adam Barker.
Yes,
he's bringing back his podcast, Ask an American.
Yes, he's been talking about it for a while, isn't he? About bringing it back.
Yeah, I don't know if it's what he's calling it. It's called Ask an American Resurrected or Resurrecting Ask an American or something, but I think it's going to be good. The concept is great.
It'll be good. Yeah, I listened to a few of the episodes they did before, and it was good. Yeah, I did enjoy it.
Yeah. So he sent me some pointer lines on what to say. He wants me to do an opening for him because he really likes the opening for the Zombie Life podcast, which is
Nice. Thanks. Yeah, that was all designed by you.
Thanks to the powers that be that give us the talent in the first place. But I wanted to...
So your mother and father.
Or God. Yeah, I was going to go with God, but yeah, mother and father, that's good.
He didn't give you powers. Your mum and dad. You inherited... Are your mum and dad musically talented? Or are you mum or dad?
Well, they are, but it was my own, blood, sweat, and tears that cultivated that, I mean, my mom taught me piano up until a point to where she was just frustrated with me because I was never able to learn how to read music. And,
that's meant to be the hardest thing in the world, isn't it?
Yeah, I do not know how to read a note one, but I could play Mozart if you want me to.
Jesus Christ. That's amazing, though. I've got a friend down here who's like that. You give him an instrument, he will sit there and play it.
Yeah.
He could just fucking... His natural thing is drumming. He loves drumming.
Oh, yeah.
But you give him a guitar, he'll play a guitar. Give him a piano, he'll play a piano. Anything. And you're like, you fucking wanker.
You wanker.
Seriously. You're like, I'll pick up a guitar and I'd rather use it as an axe.
Yeah. Ooh, that happened here last week. Did you hear about that? Ugh.
No.
Bad news. Yeah, a bad guy ran into a preacher's, like a church, and killed him with a electric guitar. Like, beat him to death with the electric guitar.
Man, he must have been pissed off. Were they making a noise?
Yeah, either that. There's probably more of the story, like the preacher was sleeping with his wife, or something else was going on, or else he was just hypnotized by Darren Brown.
Quite possibly.
That's
yeah. He does
happened.
travel the world.
Yeah. Hey, so tell me about Schoolboy Zombies Ate My Neighbors. That's on our website. What is that?
Well, you asked me to put on there, didn't you?
No.
Did you not?
Schoolboy Zombies Ate My Neighbors.